Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Monica, and in today's video, well, it's a vlog. I decided to vlog my first experience at an author signing event. It was down in Charleston, South Carolina, and it was the Sweetgrass author event put on, I think, the Southern Bells, who puts that on. I think that's their name. Anyway, that was a really fun time. I had a blast. We just got home a couple of hours ago. Without further ado, here's the B-roll. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot of food, a lot of stuff. So let me explain some stuff. My sister, one of my sisters, I have a lot of sisters. One of my sisters went with me. She needed to do some Avivos for therapy. So she went with me. And when we got there, she wanted to do a ghost tour. Yes, we did ghost tours. You have to understand something about me. I don't like dead things. I have a phobia of dead bodies, but she had me go into the dungeon where they had Stephen Bonnet and then into a graveyard. Yeah, that was lots of fun for me. And I was very tired. So yes, I was very snarky. And I was saying stuff like, I'm stepping on people's boobs. I was calling one guy. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun because I was just being snarky, but we had fun, okay? We don't take those things seriously. So, but I was like, I cannot believe she's making me do this. But she made me do it, and I went along with it because she was her first time in Charleston. It was not my first time in Charleston. That's when we got, because we got there Thursday night, because I left from work, picked her up, and we went. And it was so much fun. I think one of the funniest part about that whole thing was there was this one story about a guy who, well, okay, I'm not gonna talk about that, but basically a guy spent all his daddy's money, made a bad bet. Another guy who loaded some cotton on a ship, fell asleep smoking a pipe. The ship caught fire in Charleston Harbor. The guy who had lost all his money because he was bad at business because he refused to work with his dad till his dad passed away. Then was drink because he was too busy drinking and womanizing. Sounds like a reg, right? He was too much in debt. That was his last hope. Unfortunately, he killed himself, right? And I looked at my sister, I was like, that dude's an idiot, right? And yeah, some people were laughing, but that was a very interesting tour. If you want to do tours like that, those are really, really fun because they're just little stories. They're fun. Then next day, we got up and we went to the beach because I was going to go to Folly Beach. There was no way nobody was not going to stop me from going to Folly Beach. I wanted to go to Folly Beach. Originally, I was just going to go put my feet in the ocean, but I was like, sand. I didn't feel like dealing with the sand. So we stopped at the Lost Dog Cafe. I heard a lot of great things about it, and they had this thing. It was, oh my gosh. Okay. They had, it was eggs Benedict with fried green tomatoes. The best eggs Benedict I've ever had. So good. So I took a picture of it. Of course I had to take a picture of it. Anyway, so delicious. And then we went onto the pier and it was so much fun. Had a great time with that. And then we went back, then had some lunch at, I think it's called Kaminsky's, and our lunch was like brownie sundaes. That's what we had for lunch, was brownie sundaes, because it was a dessert cafe. And I was on vacation. I was like, I am going to eat a brownie sundae on vacation for lunch. That is okay with me. And when we were walking back, I was talking to Tiffany and Christi and all the girls, and I was like, you guys got to go to Henry's, because there's this is a restaurant and jazz. I guess it's a jazz bar. It's a restaurant jazz bar. They have live music. It's one of the best places to eat in Charleston. I'm like, whenever anyone asks me where to go to eat in Charleston, I'm like, go to Hyman's, go to Henry's, go to Carmelo's for dessert. Those are the biggest places. Oh, and Tommy Condon's, if you want to go to a really good Irish pub. Those are the places that I love to go when I go to Charleston, right? So we went and we met Tiff and Cheyenne and Sam from Sam's Reads a Little, as well as Zay from Witty Reads. She was there. And Caitlin, I got to meet Caitlin in person. My sister was with me, and Tiff really made a great impression with my sister. My sister was like, I really like her. Like, she made such a great impression on her. And anyway, and then that night, which was Friday night, I dropped my sister off. She got some pizza, and I dropped her off, and then we went to eat at Crave, which is in Mount Pleasant, which is across Charleston Harbor. Kamal went with us, as well as Tori. Got to meet Tori, and just from Peace Love Books, and I got to meet Kimberly and her sister Christi, which Christine was fantastic. And I finally got to meet Christi, because Christi, we missed Christi by mere minutes when we ran into them on the streets, on Market Street. So it was so much fun, and we got to meet Sarah as well, who is really fantastic, and the food was really good. Carmela still has the best desserts. I will die on that hill. Carmela still has the best desserts. So if you ever go to Charleston, go to Carmela's. Saturday morning, I got up early because people were talking about getting up early and going to this signing. I was like, okay. And it was really, really raining Friday night. So I got up early, and it was supposed to rain all day on Saturday, and it didn't, which was great. But I got there about 7:30 with Kamal, right? There was like 30 people there in front of us. I was like, whoa, there were people there. I didn't think it was going to be, because check-in was like, registration started at 9, and then the doors to the signing was supposed to open at noon. So I was like, 7:30. I get up at 4:30 in the morning for work, and I can generally wait like a champion. It doesn't bother me. I can sit there all day and wait. It truly does not bother me. I'm one of those weird people who can do that. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to hold the line for everybody. They can come in, and we can all go in together. That actually did not happen. So Kamal and Kimberly and Christine and I ended up going in together, and I ran to get as many bracelets as I possibly could. I got to see Elsie Silver. I was one of the first ones to see Elsie Silver, and got my People covers signed, which was so fantastic, and she was wonderful. I got my Reckless personalized, because that's my favorite book out of that series. I will die on the hill that Secret Baby is an underrated trope. And then I got to meet Devney Perry, which was fantastic. She was so sweet. And I kept seeing Tiff and Christi. And here's the thing with this one. So when we got those bracelets, we didn't have to just get one. We could get two. So I got two of each one I was getting, and I even got two of extra ones that I knew the people in the back, like Christi, like I knew Christi wanted some, and I knew Tiff wanted some. So I was able to get extra. So I grabbed two of each of the ones that I knew they wanted, so to make sure that they had them, which I'm glad I did, because then they were able to see Elsie Silver, because by the time, because unfortunately I couldn't get like 4 or 5, I could only get 2, because if I could get 4 or 5, I would have gotten 4 or 5 to make sure everybody else were able to get to see Elsie, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and because her line was very, very long. She was probably her, Liz Tom Ford, and I would say Megan Brandy at the very end, and Al Kennedy in the afternoon. Their lines were incredibly long. And same with Candy Steiner, but Candy Steiner's pregnant, so she had to take extra breaks, and then they had to stop her line to get the line under control, and she needed her breaks, which wholly understandable. As I was walking around, Tiff and Christi would walk with me, or they would check in with me. Same with Tori, and same with Jess. I did not get to see Sam or Cheyenne. I was looking for them. I could not find them. There was a lot. I swear there was over 1,000 people in that room. I did see Zay, and I did get to hang out with Zay and Caitlin for a little bit as well. And I got to hang out with Kamal and Melissa from Book Bar Melissa. she was there, and we were able to see each other for a little bit. She met me at the end of Candy Steiner, which Candy Steiner was my last person I was able to see. When I saw Candy Steiner, I was talking to her assistant. I was talking to her about how I read Close Quarters last year, and I read it on a road trip. And when I read it, it was on an audiobook. I didn't realize that she was the narrator for the audiobook. And I was like, she's like, so how'd you think of it? And I was like, the narrator did a really good job. I really enjoyed the narrator on that audiobook. And she's like, oh, good, because I'm the narrator. I was like, oh, well, that would have been awkward if I said the narrator was not good. So we had this whole conversation about narrators and everything, and it was really fun. And Candy was incredibly gracious and incredibly nice. And then earlier I got to see Al Kennedy, which was a lot of fun. She was so sweet. Liz Tom Ford she told me she was hangry. I was like, oh yeah, no, I understand. So it was a long day. But she was very, very sweet and genuine as well. One of the first people I got to see was after Elsie Silver was Fiona Cole, and I didn't get a picture with her because she stayed behind her table, and it's because I didn't want to ask her to stand up and get in, because I felt a little weird about asking her to stand up and coming to take a picture with me, and I had no one with me, so I was like, I didn't want to do that. So I didn't do that, but that was pretty funny. One of the best conversations I had was with Jana Darling. So my mom makes jewelry, and she made this art piece on Medusa. And so when I read Serpentine Valentine, because I've always loved the story of Medusa. So I've known about the story of Medusa way before I read Serpentine Valentine. And so that story, that's probably one of the reasons why I love that book so much. And anyway, that art piece totally reminded me of that story of her book. So I brought that in a bracelet that my mom makes some really, really pretty jewelry. So here's a picture. So my mom made that, and I brought it for her, and she was so sweet. She gave me a free book. I did not ask for a free book. Did not want anything from it. I just wanted to give that to her because I was like, that reminded me of that. And that is a piece of art. So, because my mom is an artist. My mom's also a hippie. And I had that conversation with A.L. Jackson because we were talking about names, because my name is kind of a very funny name. It has a very funny spelling. And her assistant was like, I know your name, because when I went to go pick up my pre-order, and I was like, yeah, my parents gave me kind of a funny spelling name because they were trying to be creative. And we even talked about how my sister's first name was different because my mom was a hippie. So yeah, that was pretty funny. And one of the best conversations I had, though, and I'm gonna tag her in this, she probably won't watch this video, but one of the best conversations I had was with Larry Reed's mom. Like, I didn't even talk to Larry, but I talked to her husband Giant, and I talked to her mom. I had the best conversation with her mom. I have said this on this channel a few times. Both my kids are autistic. I'm a special education teacher. What you guys didn't know is I was actually going to be a lawyer, and I chose to be, I feel like, and I said this to them, I feel like I could not put all my energy to be a brilliant lawyer and be a good mother to my autistic children. So I chose to be a good mother. And we were just talking about books, we were talking about life, we were talking about our children, we were talking about mental health, because Larry talks a lot about mental health. We were talking about, of course, we were talking about dark romances and sociopathic husbands and all sorts of other stuff. had the best conversation with her and Giant. So that was so much fun. I really like her mom. I really like her mom. Her mom is a fantastic human being. And one of the things that I did feel like when I was there, everybody kept asking me, was I having a good time? Was I seeing everybody? And I felt like Christi and Tori and Jess and Zay and Tiff and Caitlin, and I felt like all of them were taking care of me when I was in that room and making sure that I was getting everybody I wanted to see and that I was doing okay. And I got the biggest hug from Melissa, from Book Bar Melissa, which was wonderful, and I had a fun time with Kamal and talking with Kamal. At the end of the signing, though, I couldn't do it anymore. I was done. I was so done. I know me, when I'm done, I'm done. They were gonna go to dinner, and I was invited to go, and I was gonna go, but unfortunately I started feeling really, really bad. So I was like, I just can't. I needed to go eat then and there. So what we ended up doing was taking Kamal and Melissa back to their hotels because I had my car, and I'm not about to, why spend money on a Uber or Lyft when I could just take you back? That was just, no. Anyway, and then we grabbed some sandwiches and went back to our hotel and crashed basically. And then this morning we got up later than we probably should have, but that was okay because we had a good time. While I was at the signing, my sister went to the Magnolia Plantation, and she was like, Hanukkah, the way they treated everybody was horrible. She was like, she's like, my eyes have been opened. But anyway, and she's like, it was a very, very beautiful place, but very dark place. Anyway, that's what she was telling me. This morning though, when we got up, we're like we should probably get continental breakfast, but neither her and I wanted continental breakfast, and we didn't get to go to Carmela's. Which Carmela's, if you ever go to Carmela's, it's a cafe, they have a bar, you can get coffee, they have these cakes, like literally it's $15 for like a whole mini cake. Really, actually not bad price for a mini cake, and they are to die for. They're so good. So what her and I did is we went and got breakfast sandwiches from Carmela's this morning, and then my dad's like, are you on your way yet? And we're like, no, we're at Carmela's. And he's like, so you're gonna get cake, right? And I was like, yeah, we'll get cake. So we ended up getting some cakes to share: hummingbird cake, carrot cake, berry cake, and I think peanut butter chocolate cake as well. So that's what we got, and we drove home. And as soon as we walked in, the dogs, the cats were all excited, and the first thing my mom said when we walked in was, the cake is here. So I was like, okay, well, hello to you too. It was funny. Anyway, but we're all happy to be back, and we're all happy to be here, and I was such a great time. I'm really, really happy I got to go. This was such a fun time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I know it was just a chatty one, but this was my first time I got to go to something like this, and I loved it. And there's one I want to go to next year. Hope it's in Montana. Helena Hunting and Kristen Proby and Catherine Cowles is going to be there. I'm praying that I am able to get at least to get a ticket to go. Hopefully I can do it. But anyway, that is it for this video. If you made it this far in this video, please leave me a slice of cake emoji because we talked about Carmela's. And until next time, my friends, happy reading. Bye.